In the village of Nuru, the air was fragrant with the scent of spices and flowers. Amina was known for her culinary prowess. Her dishes brought joy to every celebration. Her heart, however, belonged to Olu, whose laughter echoed like music through the markets. They shared dreams beneath the baobab tree, envisioning a future together. But when Olu's family arranged a marriage with the wealthy Lola, Amina's world crumbled. Betrayal pierced her heart, and the sweetness of love turned sour. The village celebrated Olu and Lola's engagement, while Amina quietly faded into the background, her spirit dimming with each passing day. The day of the engagement feast arrived, and the village was adorned with colorful decorations. Amina watched from a distance as Olu and Lola basked in the attention, laughter ringing in the air. Anguish gripped Amina's heart, and she felt the bitterness of rejection settle in her bones. That night, under the light of the full moon, a dark thought crossed her mind. What if she could turn the tables? In the depths of her despair, Amina decided to confront her pain with a plan that spiraled into darkness. She would prepare a paper soup, a dish that symbolized both love and nourishment, but with a deadly secret ingredient, poison derived from the herbs she had once used to heal. Under the cover of darkness, Amina concocted her deadly recipe. She prepared the paper soup, using vibrant colors and rich flavors to disguise its true nature. With each stir of the pot, she felt her anger simmering to a boil, the echoes of Olu's laughter morphing into taunts. The day of the feast for Olu's engagement to Lola was the perfect opportunity to execute her plan. When the time came, Amina presented her dish to Olu and his friends, masking her pain behind a smile. "A special gift from my kitchen," she said, her voice steady, though her heart raced. As the first spoonfuls were served, laughter erupted. But it quickly faded as the realization of the soup's true nature set in. The feast turned to chaos. One by one, Olu and his friends began to choke and gasp. The village erupted in confusion and fear as they fell to the ground, their laughter replaced by cries for help. Amina watched from the shadows, a mix of triumph and horror gripping her heart. Mama Ife, sensing the darkness, rushed to the scene. She had always warned Amina about the dangers of harboring hatred. As the village elder knelt beside Olu, she met Amina's eyes, her expression a blend of sorrow and disappointment. "Amina, this was not the answer," she whispered, her voice heavy with understanding. "You have poisoned not only them but your own heart." Realization struck Amina like a lightning bolt. In her quest for revenge, she had become the very monster she despised. As the dust settled and the chaos faded, Amina found herself alone in the shadows. The villagers turned on her, anger and fear clouding their judgment. Zara, her best friend, stood with tears in her eyes, pleading for understanding. "Amina, what have you done? This is not you." In the silence that followed, Amina faced the truth of her actions. She had let her pain consume her and, in doing so, had lost her own humanity. Gathering her courage, she stepped forward, her voice shaking. "I did this out of pain, out of love turned bitter. I never meant for anyone to die. I am truly sorry," she cried, falling to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Mama Ife approached her gently, her wise eyes filled with compassion. "Forgiveness begins with understanding and acknowledging your wrongs. You must choose a different path, Amina." Over the following days, Amina worked tirelessly to earn back the trust of her village. She volunteered to care for those who had fallen ill from her soup, using her skills to prepare herbal remedies and nourishment. With Zara by her side, she learned to channel her pain into healing rather than destruction. As Olu slowly recovered, Amina approached him, her heart pounding with fear and regret. "I am so sorry, Olu. I let my anger blind me to the love we once shared. I did not want to lose you, but I lost myself instead." Olu looked at her, his expression a mixture of sorrow and understanding. "Amina, what you did was unforgivable, but I see now that you were lost. We all must learn from our mistakes." Their paths had diverged, but in this moment, Amina understood that forgiveness was a two-way street, one that could lead to healing if they allowed it. Time passed, and Amina emerged as a healer in the village of Nuru, known not only for her culinary skills but also for her wisdom in using herbs to mend wounds, both physical and emotional. The tale of the poisoned paper soup became a cautionary story shared around fires, a reminder of the destructive power of revenge and the transformative strength of forgiveness. Amina learned to embrace her scars, recognizing that they were part of her journey. In the shadows of betrayal, she discovered the light of redemption, turning her once bitter heart into a vessel of love and healing. As Amina embraced her new role as the village healer, the scars of her past began to fade, replaced by the vibrant colors of hope and resilience. The village of Nuru slowly rebuilt itself, coming together to support one another in the aftermath of the tragedy. Amina's journey became one of inspiration, illustrating that even the deepest wounds could heal with time and effort. Word of Amina's healing prowess spread beyond the borders of Nuru. People from neighboring villages came to seek her knowledge and remedies. With Zara by her side, Amina began to teach the art of herbal medicine, sharing her experiences and the lessons learned from her painful past. One day, while preparing a special herbal infusion, Amina received an unexpected visitor. It was Olu, his face worn but determined. "Can we talk?" Olu asked, his voice steady yet laced with uncertainty. Amina nodded, her heart racing. She gestured for him to sit at the wooden table where she worked. "I wanted to apologize for how I reacted after the incident," Olu began, his eyes searching hers. "It took me a while to understand the pain behind your actions. I was foolish to think only of myself." Amina listened intently, her heart torn between lingering resentment and the desire for healing. "I hurt you, Olu. I let my anger consume me and chose revenge instead of love. It's a mistake I will carry for the rest of my life." Olu's gaze softened. "We both made mistakes. But I want to move forward, Amina. We can't change the past, but we can change how we approach the future." Amina felt a glimmer of hope flicker within her. Perhaps this was a chance to rebuild not just her life, but their friendship as well. Days turned into weeks as Amina and Olu met regularly. They spoke of their dreams, their fears, and how they had changed since that fateful day. Amina shared her herbal knowledge and Olu helped in the fields, learning the value of hard work and community. With each shared laugh and deep conversation, Amina felt her heart begin to heal. The weight of the past slowly lifted, replaced by the warmth of newfound friendship. The villagers noticed the change in Amina. Her spirit was rekindling, and she became a beacon of hope for others who had experienced loss and betrayal. As the season changed, the village prepared for the annual Festival of Harvest, a celebration of gratitude for the land and community. This year, Amina decided to showcase her culinary skills once more, but with a twist. She wanted to create a dish that symbolized unity and healing. With Olu's help, she gathered ingredients from the village and prepared a grand feast. Together, they worked side by side, crafting dishes that brought together flavors from every corner of Nuru, inviting everyone to partake in a meal that represented the strength of their community. On the day of the festival, the village square was adorned with colorful cloths, lanterns, and the aroma of delicious food filled the air. Villagers came together to dance, sing, and celebrate life, their laughter resonating like a melody of hope. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the celebration, Mama Ife called for attention. "Tonight, we gather not just to celebrate the harvest, but to honor the resilience of our hearts. Let us raise our cups to forgiveness and new beginnings." With the village gathered, Amina stood beside Olu, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I want to thank everyone for your support and love. This year, I have learned that our mistakes do not define us. It is how we choose to rise from them that matters." The villagers cheered, and Olu added, "Together, we can heal and grow stronger. Let this feast remind us of the bonds we share, no matter our past." As the clinking of cups echoed through the air, Amina felt the warmth of acceptance envelop her. The festival was not just a celebration of food but a testament to their collective strength and unity. As the years passed, the village of Nuru flourished, not just in crops but in spirit. Amina became a respected healer, renowned for her skills and compassion. Her story, once filled with darkness, transformed into one of resilience, a guiding light for those in need. The bond between Amina and Olu blossomed into a deep friendship, rooted in understanding and shared experiences. They often worked together, promoting unity and healing within the village, and their partnership inspired others to seek forgiveness and embrace change. Mama Ife watched with pride as the younger generation learned from the mistakes of the past. The tale of Amina and her poison soup became a symbol of redemption, a reminder that love, while fragile, has the power to heal even the deepest wounds. One peaceful afternoon in the vibrant village of Nuru, Amina was tending to her flourishing herbal garden. She had just finished teaching a group of eager children about the healing properties of various plants when she noticed a commotion at the village entrance. Amina squinted through the sunlight and saw a figure approaching, tall, cloaked, and unfamiliar. As the figure drew closer, Amina felt an uneasy flutter in her stomach. The villagers paused their activities, whispering among themselves as the stranger approached, their expressions a mix of curiosity and caution. When the figure finally stepped into the sunlight, the crowd gasped. It was a woman, regal and poised, with intricate tattoos adorning her arms, signifying her status as a member of a powerful neighboring clan. The woman surveyed the villagers with keen eyes, finally locking her gaze onto Amina. "I am Mara, from the Kalani clan," she announced, her voice commanding yet smooth. "I have come to speak with you about the balance of power between our clans." Mara continued, "There has been talk of your skills as a healer and your rise in the village. My people are in need of your expertise. We have faced a terrible illness that is spreading rapidly. I believe your knowledge can save many lives." The villagers murmured among themselves, uncertainty hanging in the air. Amina felt a surge of empathy for the Kalani clan, but was also aware of the history of rivalry between their clans. Her heart raced as she considered the implications of aiding them. "Why should we help your clan?" one of the villagers shouted, stepping forward. "You have never reached out to us before." Mara's expression remained calm. "Because the illness does not discriminate. It affects us all. If we do not work together, we will all suffer the consequences. I am asking for your trust and collaboration." Amina could sense the hesitation among her people, but she stepped forward, her voice steady. "We have all experienced loss and pain. If we can help, we must. Healing is not just about medicine. It is about compassion and unity." After Amina spoke, the villagers' murmurs turned to discussions. They debated the risks and rewards, considering the potential consequences of aiding the Kalani clan. Finally, Mama Ife raised her voice, her wise eyes scanning the crowd. "Amina is right," she said. "This is an opportunity to show our strength and compassion. We cannot allow fear to dictate our actions. If we do not act now, more lives will be lost. We must extend our hands and share our knowledge." Gradually, the villagers began to nod in agreement. The atmosphere shifted from one of distrust to cautious hope. Mara smiled, gratitude shining in her eyes. "Thank you. I know this is a difficult step for you. Let us work together to save our people." Amina felt a weight lift off her shoulders. In this moment, a bridge was built between the two clans, one forged from the desire to heal rather than to harbor grudges. With a plan in place, Amina, Zara, and a small group of villagers set off to the Kalani clan's territory, bringing along herbs and supplies. Mara led the way, her demeanor shifting from a leader to a guide, as she introduced them to the customs and culture of her clan. As they approached the Kalani village, Amina marveled at the intricate carvings on the huts, depicting stories of bravery and unity. The people greeted them with a mix of curiosity and apprehension, and Amina could feel the weight of expectations resting on her shoulders. Upon arrival, they were shown to the central gathering place, where sick individuals lay, pale and weak. Amina's heart sank at the sight, but she steeled herself for the task ahead. Amina immediately set to work, assessing the patients and determining the best herbs to use. She instructed the Kalani villagers on how to prepare the remedies, encouraging them to participate in their own healing. As she worked alongside Mara, a bond began to form. They shared stories of their respective clans, finding common ground in their struggles and aspirations. The laughter of children playing nearby reminded Amina of the power of hope and unity. Days turned into weeks as they labored together, and slowly, the sick began to recover. The festival of gratitude grew near, and Amina proposed a celebration to honor their shared success and newfound friendship. The Kalani villagers were hesitant at first, but Mara rallied them with her infectious enthusiasm, reminding them of the strength found in unity. On the day of the festival, the village square was filled with decorations from both clans, showcasing their rich cultures. The scent of delicious food wafted through the air as villagers prepared traditional dishes that represented their heritage. Amina stood before the crowd, her heart racing with excitement. Today, we celebrate not just the healing of our bodies, but the healing of our hearts. Let this festival remind us that when we come together, we can overcome any challenge. As the villagers cheered, Olu stepped forward, holding a beautiful handmade drum. "Let us dance and celebrate our unity," he called, and the crowd erupted in joy. The music began, and Amina felt the rhythm resonate within her. The villagers danced, their movements telling stories of resilience and togetherness, blending their cultures into a beautiful tapestry. As the festival came to an end, Amina stood with Olu, Zara, and Mara, looking over the vibrant celebration that unfolded before them. The laughter, the music, and the joy filled her heart with warmth. "We've come a long way," Mara said, her eyes shining. "This is just the beginning. Our clans have the potential to thrive together." Amina nodded, understanding that they had broken down barriers that had stood for generations. Together, they would continue to work for the betterment of their communities, ensuring that the lessons learned from the past would never be forgotten. In the heart of Nuru, where healing herbs flourished, a new legacy of unity and compassion began. Amina realized that, even from the ashes of heartbreak, new beginnings could rise, stronger and more vibrant than before. As the village of Nuru basked in the glow of unity and celebration, a dark cloud loomed on the horizon. Whispers of discontent began to circulate among some members of the Kalani clan, who were wary of their newfound alliance. They believed that their traditions were being overshadowed by the influence of Amina and her village. One evening, as Amina and her friends sat together after the festival, a young Kalani man named Juma approached them, his expression tense. "I need to speak with you," he said, glancing around to ensure no one overheard. Amina gestured for him to sit, her heart racing as she sensed the urgency in his voice. "What's wrong, Jumas?" "I overheard some of the elders discussing a plan to sever ties with Nuru," he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. "They believe that if we continue to rely on your village for healing, we will lose our identity and strength as a clan." Zara gasped, and Amina felt a chill run down her spine. "We've worked so hard to build this bridge between our clans. We can't let fear and misunderstanding tear it apart." Juma nodded, his brow furrowed. "I believe there's still hope. But we need to address this openly before it escalates. If we can show the elders the benefits of our unity, perhaps they will reconsider." That night, Amina called for an emergency meeting with the village leaders of both Nuru and Kalani. The gathering took place under the great baobab tree, a symbol of strength and wisdom in their culture. The tree's massive trunk provided a sense of security, yet the atmosphere was charged with uncertainty. As the elders of both clans assembled, Amina stood at the front, her heart pounding. "Thank you for coming on such short notice," she began, her voice steady. "I've learned of concerns among the Kalani elders about our alliance, and I believe we need to address these fears head-on." Mara stepped forward, her demeanor calm. "We have seen the benefits of our collaboration. The healing practices shared between our clans have saved lives. We must embrace this new path, not shy away from it." An elder from the Kalani clan, a stern-looking woman named Nyala, shook her head. "You speak of benefits, but what of our traditions? Will we lose them in the process? We cannot simply blend into Nuru." Amina sensed the tension rising. We are not asking you to abandon your culture. Rather, we seek to enrich both our communities. Imagine the strength we could have if we embraced both our identities and shared our knowledge. Together, we could create something unique, a culture that honors both of our heritages. A murmur rippled through the crowd as Amina continued. Let us create a festival that celebrates both our cultures. We can showcase our traditions, our foods, our stories, show the beauty that lies in our differences and our similarities. This can be a new beginning for both clans. Juma stepped up, echoing Amina's sentiments. We can organize a cultural exchange where members of both clans teach one another. This will strengthen our bonds and allow us to preserve our identities together. The elders exchanged glances, considering the proposal. Nyala remained skeptical but appeared thoughtful. If this festival proves to be successful, it may help ease the fears among our people. But if it fails, it won't fail, Amina interrupted, her confidence growing. We have seen what we can achieve together. This festival will be a testament to our strength as a united community. Will you support us? After a moment of silence, Mara spoke up. If we believe in our ability to work together, the festival can become a symbol of our shared future. Slowly, the elders nodded, and a sense of cautious optimism filled the air. The decision was made. The festival would be organized. In the weeks that followed, the village worked tirelessly to prepare for the festival. Amina, Mara, and Juma organized cultural activities that highlighted the best of both clans. Traditional dance performances, cooking demonstrations, storytelling sessions, and displays of crafts. Amina taught the Kalani villagers how to prepare herbal remedies and traditional dishes, while Mara shared her clan's weaving techniques. The children from both villages began to bond, their laughter echoing as they played together, creating a sense of camaraderie. But amid the excitement, Amina noticed whispers of dissent. A small group of traditionalists within the Kalani clan remained unconvinced, spreading doubts about the festival's intentions. Amina knew they would need to win over these skeptics if the festival was to be truly successful. As the festival day approached, Amina organized a gathering for the skeptical elders. We need to show them the true spirit of our unity, she told Mara and Juma. Let's invite them to help us with the final preparations. They reached out to the elders, and after some hesitation, many agreed to participate. Amina welcomed them into her garden, showing them the herbs and explaining their significance. She invited them to contribute their own traditional knowledge, creating a space where both cultures could be honored. As the elders worked alongside the villagers, sharing stories and laughter, Amina felt a shift in the air. They began to understand that their cultures were not at odds but could coexist beautifully. At last, the day of the festival arrived. The village square was transformed, adorned with colorful fabrics, lanterns, and an array of food from both clans. Villagers gathered, their spirits high with anticipation. Amina stood before the crowd, flanked by Mara and Juma. Today, we celebrate not just our cultures, but the strength of our unity, she proclaimed. Let this festival be a reminder that together, we can overcome any challenges. Let us embrace our differences and find strength in our diversity. The festivities began, filled with traditional dances, songs, and stories. Laughter and joy filled the air as villagers mingled, learning from one another and celebrating their shared heritage. Amina felt a deep sense of fulfillment watching the community come alive, seeing how far they had come. As night fell, a stunning array of lanterns lit up the square, creating a magical atmosphere. The sounds of drums echoed as Amina joined in the dance, her heart soaring. As the night wore on, Amina took a moment to step aside, watching the celebration unfold. She felt a gentle tap on her shoulder and turned to see Nyala approaching her, the elder's expression softened by the warmth of the festivities. I came to apologize, Nyala said, her voice sincere. I was wrong to doubt the strength of our alliance. Seeing everyone together, I realize now how much we can learn from each other. Amina smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. It's never too late to embrace change. Together, we can create a brighter future for both our clans. The two women stood side by side, watching as their communities danced under the stars. In that moment, Amina felt a profound sense of hope, a hope that transcended boundaries and fostered healing, love, and understanding. As the festival came to an end, Amina knew that their efforts had transformed the relationship between their clans. The laughter, shared meals, and stories had woven a tapestry of unity that would endure beyond the night. In the days that followed, Amina and Mara continued to collaborate on healing practices and cultural exchanges. The festival became an annual tradition, a celebration of unity and resilience that drew people from near and far. Amina reflected on how far she had come since the dark days of heartbreak. She had turned pain into purpose, forging connections that would last a lifetime. As she stood in her garden, surrounded by blooming herbs and flowers, she felt grateful for the journey that had led her here. With the success of the festival, Amina and the villagers of Nuru felt a renewed sense of purpose. The event not only strengthened ties between Nuru and Kalani, but also inspired neighboring villages to reflect on their own practices. News of the festival spread, and soon, messengers arrived from other clans, eager to learn about the collaborative spirit that had blossomed between the two. One day, Amina and Mara were approached by Kofi, a respected elder from a nearby village called Bantu. He had heard about the festival and its significance. "Your unity has sparked curiosity across the land," Kofi said, his eyes gleaming with interest. "We wish to learn from your experience. Would you be willing to host representatives from our village?" Amina's heart raced at the thought. Of course. The more we share our cultures, the stronger our connections will become. Mara chimed in, her excitement palpable. "We can organize workshops and discussions. It's a chance to show how collaboration can heal and unite." As preparations for the next gathering began, Amina and Mara reached out to other villages, sharing their vision for a larger festival that would encompass various cultures. They invited representatives to bring their traditional dances, foods, and stories, creating a tapestry of diversity that celebrated the uniqueness of each community. The day of the festival arrived, and the village square was transformed into a vibrant marketplace. Stalls from different clans displayed their crafts and culinary delights, with the air rich in the aromas of spices and cooking. Children from all villages played together, their laughter echoing as they discovered the joys of new friendships. Amina marveled at the sight, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. It was more than just a festival, it was a celebration of unity and diversity. The festival featured workshops where villagers shared their unique crafts and skills. Amina led a session on herbal medicine, demonstrating the healing properties of various plants. Kofi shared stories from Bantu, captivating the audience with tales of bravery and wisdom. As the day went on, Amina noticed a shift in the atmosphere. People were not just participating, they were connecting. Elders exchanged stories while children learned traditional dances from one another. In the evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a grand bonfire was lit at the center of the square. Villagers gathered around it, sharing songs and stories under the starry sky. Amina took a moment to reflect on how far they had come, grateful for the bonds they had forged. As the celebrations continued, not everyone was pleased. Among the Kalani clan, a faction led by Nyala's cousin, Razi, emerged. He was a traditionalist who believed that embracing other cultures threatened their identity. In hushed tones, Razi gathered like-minded individuals, plotting to disrupt the festival. "We cannot allow our traditions to be overshadowed by outsiders," he warned them. "We must stand firm and reclaim our identity." Amina caught wind of Razi's plans through whispers among the villagers. She felt a wave of anxiety wash over her, but knew they had to address this threat openly. The following day, Amina organized a meeting with the elders of both clans, determined to address the growing dissent. "We cannot allow fear to drive us apart," she urged, her voice steady. "Razi's followers may not see the beauty in our unity, but we must stand together against division." Nyala, still skeptical, raised her hand. "Amina, we appreciate your passion, but we must honor our traditions. How do we balance this?" Amina took a deep breath. by creating spaces for open dialogue. Let's host a discussion where both sides can express their concerns and work towards understanding. The elders reluctantly agreed, and plans were made for a forum where villagers could voice their opinions and engage in constructive dialogue. The day of the forum arrived, and villagers filled the square, eager to voice their opinions. Amina and Mara facilitated the discussion, encouraging everyone to share their thoughts. Razi stood up, his voice loud and defiant. This festival is a ploy to erase our culture. We cannot lose what makes us who we are. The crowd murmured in agreement, while others voiced their support for the unity movement. Amina felt a surge of determination. We are not here to erase our identities. We are here to celebrate them. Embracing others does not mean we lose ourselves. It means we grow stronger together. As the debate continued, the tension began to ease. Amina's words resonated with many, opening hearts and minds to the possibility of coexistence. As the discussions progressed, Razi began to see the potential for collaboration. He listened as elders shared stories of how their ancestors had thrived through alliances. The realization began to dawn on him that the essence of their culture could be preserved while still welcoming others. After a long day of dialogue, Razi stood up, his demeanor softened. Perhaps I have been too quick to judge. It is not the outsiders I fear, but the loss of what is dear to us. If we can share our traditions while embracing new ones, maybe we can find a way forward. A collective sigh of relief washed over the crowd. The forum concluded with a renewed commitment to celebrate both identities, forging a path of mutual respect and understanding. As the sun set on the forum, Amina felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The path to unity had not been easy, but they had forged bonds that would last a lifetime. The festival had become more than just a celebration. It was a movement towards understanding and cooperation. In the weeks that followed, Amina and Mara worked alongside Razi to create cultural exchange programs, ensuring that both clans learned from one another while celebrating their unique heritages. The village square became a hub of activity, filled with laughter, learning, and love. Amina realized that while the journey had been challenging, it had transformed her heart. She had turned her pain into purpose, creating a legacy of unity that would inspire generations. As Amina looked around, she felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. They had built something beautiful together, a legacy that celebrated love, unity, and resilience. In the years to come, Nuru and Kalani would host joint festivals that drew visitors from all over the land. Amina's heart swelled with pride as she realized that even the darkest moments could lead to the brightest futures. Through understanding, collaboration, and a shared commitment to preserving their identities, they had created a community where love triumphed over vengeance and unity flourished amid diversity. The story of Amina, once marked by betrayal and revenge, transformed into a tale of healing, growth, and the power of connection. In a world that often feels divided, the paper soup of revenge serves as a reminder that love and understanding can bridge even the deepest chasms, allowing communities to rise together, stronger than before.